All right, hey, welcome to a new segment that I'm doing. Uh, so I'm trying to branch off and do various things, which is kind of counterintuitive because I'm trying to also at the same time develop a brand for my channel, which I'm having a really hard time doing because there's so many things I like doing. I'm kind of one of those people that I do something for a while, I get really good at it, and then once I'm done being good at that, and I think I've mastered it pretty much, and then I just move on to do something different. So, which is why video games are nice for me, because I'll get really good at a game, I'll pretty much master it, and then it'll be done, and I move on to the next one, and that's great. But one thing that I never feel like I am completely mastered is the intricacies of the human psyche. And so I'm trying to do a thing kind of like it's like an updated digital version of the Ask Annie or whatever the hell those were. Ask Abby, whatever. The old days when you had newspapers for the kids out there. You had the newspapers, and like if you needed advice with something, they had people that would write these columns giving advice. And they're not like the magazines today, where like People, where they'll be like, "How do you get your boyfriend to be more into you?" And the answer is always something absolutely ridiculous that you probably shouldn't do. Anyway, so without further ado, I want to take some questions that I found on the internet. And now I'm going to protect the users or the people who I'm not going to say their names, but that may change at some point. I don't know as I evolve this plan. So to get started, the first one here is subject was told a guy I liked him, and this happened. ... Help. So basically, okay, so I've liked this guy for a while, and I finally had the guts to tell him over Snapchat, of course, I'm not that brave. And he just responded with the okay emoji. What does that mean? This may be a dumb post, but I'm really confused. So what that actually means is he's probably not that into you. Sorry to tell you. Either he's not that into you, or he's kind of a douche. I mean, either way, it's kind of a douche. Because that's not like... I mean, I don't know. Well-adjusted... I'm guessing this is a younger person because... people who have some sort of social skill typically don't just say, "Heh," they'll actually give you a word. Stuff like that is more of like a millennial type thing, or like the generation even younger than the millennial generation, which I don't... They have so many stupid names right now that I think they try to make up their own generation. Anyway, the point is, don't worry about it. Move on. So let's try another one. By the way, if you have, some of these will be serious, some of these won't be not so serious. But if you do have questions and you want me to help you out with your life experience, or offer my life experience to assist you with yours, by all means, put them in the comments or send me a message on Google if you don't want to be known about for it. And yeah, so here's one. How to hide a fart, please. Please help me. That's the only question. So if you really want to know, the best way is with a loud cough. I find that is where you will... I didn't do it just then, but had I, you don't know. No, but so if you really want to find a fart without anybody hearing you, absolute best way, most polite way, go to a different room. Usually a bathroom is the best place in case, you need to go that route. But no, best way is mostly cough if you're like around people. If you just hate everybody, you're in an elevator, yeah, just cough. But in reality, if it's going to be good, claim it. I mean, that's my best advice, is claim it, own it. That was me. Yeah, this guy. All right, next. Do you ever feel extra dumb? Oh, it's a long one. Have you ever talked to someone who is actually smart and then realized that everyone you interact with, including yourself, has the combined IQ of a jelly donut? It's a pretty low IQ. I don't mean douchey smart, like someone who looks up 10-syllable words just to make people around them feel dumb. I mean people who have an intellectual way of speaking and don't have to drop f-bombs every other word to mask the fact that their lexicon consists of 11 words. This person used lexicon pretty properly. I would say that's actually a fairly decent word. Anyway, I am but a humble gorilla. So when I meet someone with actual intelligence that consists of more than just movies, music, video games, meme knowledge, and random facts about animals, it makes me feel like more of a chimp. The topics they bring up in hopes of genuine conversation always end with me contributing nothing more than parroting back what they say to them with a few extra words thrown in. Then I can tell by the look on their face that they know I'm an ape by the point that I should try to end the conversation so we can go back to our separate worlds. I feel this goes without saying, but when I use the term gorilla, chimp, and ape, I'm referring to the actual animals as a joking way of describing myself as someone with more fingers than IQ points. So this is a person who has a lot of self-deprecating humor. So, thing to remember about life in general is there's always going to be people so much smarter than you. Oh man, if I wish I could count. I couldn't count how many times this happened to me. Like about a million times. I grew up as I was getting older, as I was really young, getting older, probably in like preschool time. Everybody's like, "Oh, you're so smart." That's like the thing. You tell kids that you're so smart. You're so smart. Meanwhile, like I tell my son that, and he's like slapping himself in the face with his foot or something, and it's like, yeah, he's not that smart. But like, everyone has their moments of brilliance, but it's. I wouldn't say intelligence is a thing that you just have. I mean, a lot of people, the way they measure intelligence is with how quickly you can learn something or your capacity to notice differences and stuff. Like if you look at an IQ test, a lot of the time it's about like pattern recognition, things like that, which there's a lot of different types of smarts out there. There's a lot of different types of intelligence. There are people that are geniuses at empathy, and they can empathize with people really, really well. And being able to do that gives you just an infinite edge up on a lot of things in social situations. There's people who, their genius exists in being able to memorize mathematical theorems. Being able to, I know people that are just geniuses at remembering things about military battles from the 1940s, World War II, or War of 1812, stuff like that. And I'm kind of like, man, 1812. I have to go back and look up what that was about. I know it was the war with the British, where they were. It's kind of like a turf war because we kept trying to expand into Canada and Western. Anyway, I know I get it, but the point is, like, there's a lot of different types of smarts out there. There's a lot of times that, like, I'm real smart with computer stuff, and then there's a lot of times that, like, I will forget, like, honestly, to be completely flat out honest, I don't remember where half the countries in, I know we're, like, the big ones, like Italy, but, like, Turkey, I think that's North Africa, yeah? Like, northwestern tip of Africa? So, I mean, that's why I have a map, right? I think one of the most important things, one of the truest signs of actual intelligence as far as book smarts go, isn't so much being able to memorize everything and repeat stuff back verbatim. That's a talent for sure. That's a skill. But I think the most important thing about being intelligent and being smart is knowing where to find the answers, right? So like we have this big internet, and you'd be surprised how many people don't know how to use it to find actual information. They just find cat videos. So when you're looking at things that are, when you're trying to quantify intelligence, it's really hard to do because there's so many different types. And there's all kinds of groups out there, like the group, is it NAFTA or not NAFTA? Was it NAFTA? I don't know. There's a group for like people with really high IQs, which I qualify to be in, I guess, but I don't have any reason to join it because it's kind of, I don't know, whatever. But not putting you down if you remember that. Just like, why do you have to try to flaunt that? I don't care. So all I'm saying is, be happy with what you got. Clearly, the person who wrote this has some good humor, and is fairly well socially adjusted, and that speaks volumes, really. So moving on to like another question. Okay, these are maybe getting a little bit more serious. How do I talk a friend out of suicide? I've been pretty close to a classmate since I got to know him in August, and he always seems like a cheerful guy. A couple of months ago, he got a girlfriend who he spends a lot of time with. Yesterday, I learned that she has been cheating on him. This doesn't seem like that big of a deal, but he has also said several times before now his parents don't support him on anything, and that they sometimes get abusive. He lived in America for 6 years and moved to Europe in the summer, and he hasn't had a good move due to him having to be separated from close friends. Last time we talked was today when he simply said, "I've had enough." After I asked him if he was okay, and he doesn't know what that girlfriend has been cheating on him yet, he says that the two of them are talking now by phone, and he'll notify me if anything were to happen. But at this point, I won't take any chances. I was thinking about telling him tomorrow at another friend's school, but I'm not sure how he'll handle it. Any advice is appreciated. That's kind of hard. Not like the answer if somebody actually says they're going to commit suicide is don't try to handle it yourself. Don't try to talk them off the ledge. By all means, keep talking to them. But with the other hand, start dialing 911 or something, because you need to get that person help. Anybody that says that they have suicidal thoughts, even if it's just a passing thing, better be safe than sorry most of the time. And at least go see them, spend time with them, make sure nothing happens to them. But, of course, also make sure that they're not trying to hurt somebody else. If you know the people well enough, you can generally know that they're not trying to hurt you, but you want to make sure they don't hurt themselves. And the best way to do that is to get help, not just yourself. I'm not qualified to, talk somebody down off a ledge. So I wouldn't try to make myself be that. Plus, if something did happen, you'd only have yourself to blame, which is really hard. So the best thing to do is to really get help outside of just yourself. Don't post that on the internet looking for solutions, because that will take a while. I mean, I guess that might happen quick, but somebody's going to tell you, hopefully. Actually, none of the people in this thread actually said, get somebody else. There's somebody that was on the National Suicide Prevention Hotline who said, you should just do all these things. And it's like, no, you should go talk to somebody, like, right now. Don't try to handle that yourself. That's really dumb. Moving on to the next one. What's the best way to avoid going to church? So I am 23, an atheist, and I currently live with my dad. My dad has a girlfriend who is somewhat religious, and earlier today she decided to take me to church. I acted polite and decided to go with her this once. She asked me how I felt about it after we were done, and I thought it was interesting. But I don't want to tell her how I truly felt, that I did not like going. I really do not want to go to church, but she must think that I would like to go again. I'm going on a cruise in a week. I hope that between now and then she will forget about the whole thing. But I worry that she won't. I don't want to offend her by not wanting to go to church. How can I get out of going to church without offending her? So there really is no way to not offend people who are deeply religious. Well, I don't really mean it like that. Like, I guess you're not really offending them as long as you don't say things that are offensive. There's not really an easy way out of that situation, considering that you're living with her, kind of. The easiest thing that you could do is not live there, and then she wouldn't ask you to go to church with her. Why you're going and not your dad, I don't know. But, so, points for going, even though you didn't want to. I completely understand not wanting to go to church. If you don't believe in it, don't try to fake it. I mean, that's obvious. But people will generally try to bring you into their faith. Some of that is because they, part of the church experience is having a group. So if you have, if you want to be part of the group, you got to bring more people in, because then you have a bigger group. And it's just kind of the way church works a lot of the times. There are some people that, don't mind worshiping in their own way, like myself. I do believe in God, but I don't need to go to church to do so. I mean, if you want to flat out lie, by all means, you can tell her something along those lines. But I would just be honest and say, hey, look, it's not my thing. I'm not into church. You know, plus you're 23 years old, just kind of like grow up a bit. It's your life. You're allowed to do whatever you want. Um, but yeah, don't be a pussy about it. Just don't go. That's all there is to it. Commuting versus camping for an internship. That's odd. I'm doing an internship this summer, but it looks like the town I'll be in has a terrible housing market. I don't like where this is going. Especially in the summer, too many interns. There's a good chance I won't be able to find anything close by. The location is very isolated, so I'll have to look at housing that's around an hour away. I'm seriously considering camping instead. There's campgrounds close by, and there's never much rain in the area. I can shower at the YMCA and hang out at the 24/7 library. Plus, I have a family about an hour and a half away to go to during the weekends. The only hard part seems to be cooking. It actually sounds like it would be fun. There's all the cool parts of being homeless without any of the bedroom and uncertainty. Is this such a horrible idea? What would I need to watch out for? Okay. Well, no. That sounds like a terrible plan. So, okay. Um, so when you live somewhere, you tend to accrue things. I mean, look at all the stuff behind me. These are the things that I've accrued within the past few years of my life. Actually, a lot of those movies and games and stuff back there have been there for, I don't know, I got those over the past like 10 years probably, but because nobody buys DVDs that much anymore, or Blu-rays, or disc-based games. But, no, like, you tend to get stuff. You tend to want stuff. That's kind of why you get a job in the first place, is so that you can have things. I would say that's a dumb idea. It's a real dumb idea. Commuting would probably be a better option. And to say that there's no housing at all, there's got to be something. Even if you only had to find something temporary, like finding a roommate. I mean, you do what you got to do to get by, but I don't think camping's a good plan. That sounds real stupid. Especially when you think of like, if you're really saving yourself time, right? If you have to get up in the morning, you're sleeping on probably hard ground, you don't have a good mattress, your back's going to start hurting. Yeah, I mean, I'm assuming this person, again, probably young. Um, it's going to mess up your back sleeping on the ground like that. So if you get a decent mattress and, you live somewhere, that's better than sleeping on the ground so you won't hurt your back and be miserable later on in life. But if you really take into account the fact that you got to wake up, drag yourself off the ground. I'm not sure what you're using for an alarm clock. I guess maybe if you have electricity, you can kind of figure something out. But you're also usually going to pay for some sort of campsite. Campgrounds cost money. Yeah, and to see there's never much rain in the area is really stupid. But basically, you're putting all of your stuff. I mean, why would you just live in your car then, if that's the case? I mean, then you don't have to worry about. You can basically park anywhere. You can camp wherever the hell you want. Get a nice big van. Here's an idea: RV. But yeah, that just seems real dumb. Like, you can't. I mean, when you figure in, okay, you're waking up, you're going to the YMCA to shower, you're spending all of that time doing that. You could have already just shower at home in the comfort of your own home and then drive. Stupid. It's a really, really dumb idea. Moving on. Hooking up with this guy? I've had a small crush on a coworker. Not an intense crush, just more thinking he was very attractive and that I would hook up with him. I didn't give it into it because I didn't want to get involved with someone from work. Well, our schedules got flipped, so we don't work together anymore, but we still go out with a few other coworkers for drinks most weeks. I feel like we would hook up if the opportunity presented itself. The problem is that I just found out another coworker has hooked up with him a few times. However, this coworker has a boyfriend, and the guy I have a crush on tried to deny her advances, but ultimately gave in and just hooks up with her whenever she initiates. Since no one in this situation is looking for anything serious, would it be wrong for me to hook up with my coworker, or would it be wrong to do that to my other female coworker, even though she has a boyfriend? But so clearly, I mean, you all have your own set of morals, I guess. So it's, me having. I'm not again okay. So I'm not super religious, not super, you know, I'm not super into like, oh, never do anything before marriage. Although I think a lot of the time that's probably the better option for a better life, um, overall. But I think maybe just, you know, find someone else. I, okay. I mean, yeah. I don't know. I don't get it. People are a lot different than they were, but as far as are you wrong to want to do it? No, clearly he doesn't care, nor does the other girl, or maybe she does. Maybe talk to her and ask her first. If she's fine with it, then go for it. Or maybe both of you can do it. It sounds like nobody in this situation really has any good moral, ethical code here. So who cares? Do what you want to do. I just, wow. Lately, few friends have been really getting to my feelings. How can I bring up how I feel? This is over League of Legends mostly. Oh my god. I really love League and playing with friends, but I'm also very competitive. Last year I set a goal to hit a certain rank, gold, and worked incredibly hard at it. Only to miss out by literally one game before ranks locked in. I was really upset, and even now, still get upset when I think about it. My friends know that, and lately I've been trying to bring it up more and more frequently. I usually try to brush it off, but it's become so frequent now that it really gets to me. I hear it multiple times per day, almost, and I'm to the point where even though I'm always trying to get better, that thought is in the back of my head all the time, and sometimes makes me feel like I have nothing at all. I used to think it was the game that got to me, whether I made mistakes or was put on a bad team, but I'm realizing now that maybe it's the environment I put myself in. I don't want to stop being friends with them, but every time I remind them, it really bothers me. They ignore it, and I'm scared of cutting our friendship off. It's the only way to recover how sad and sudden I've been feeling all the time. Okay. I have other people I've talked to, but I've left out my details, like how upset I actually get about it. But I feel like I need to do something because it's just breaking me down and more every day. I don't want to fall apart. Okay, this look right here, this is the look of suck it up, Buttercup. But no, I can't even. I'm not even gonna play to this stupidness. So honestly, if you're getting so hurt by what people are telling you, especially something as stupid as your video game that you're playing, oh man, how do you play any game like at all with people? Because I mean, you could play like any game, and there's going to be somebody who's going to talk shit about you or to you. So how do you? I mean, sure, they actually know you, but man, this isn't that surprising that you're getting hurt by this because you clearly don't have the guts to talk to your people you call friends that you know, and you're afraid to tell them that they're to shut the hell up. Come on, like really. Like I don't. I try to be nice about things, but man, this is just shut up. Ah, like there are so many bigger problems in the world, and to say that League of Legends is really bumming you out, stop playing the damn game. Move on, do something else. Because who the shit gives a fuck if you are gold ranked? I don't even know what that means because I have refused to play any of those MOBA type games because they just don't interest me. But the amount of the amount people get like invested into these things is insane. It's like World of Warcraft. People that like it just blows my mind. And it's literally got me to the point of being like super pissed off with people I know that like played the game so much that they neglected their kids and their kids couldn't speak English. Like then they were like 5, like they couldn't say real words. And it was like it was clearly because no one communicated with them. Like their parents just sat there playing the game while they just kind of like wandered around. And it's like, dude, your priorities are all jacked up. So, tough love, but don't let that happen to you. Stop playing the stupid game. Move on. Clearly, you are way, way too addicted to that. So move on. All right, this one is marked serious. It says, Lost Brother. About 10 years ago, my brother decided to run away from our family. To this day, we don't know why. I need your help in finding him. He was last spotted in Germany on a train about 2 years back. I'll post a picture in the comments section from graduation at the university 10 years back. Any kind of advice on how to find him, or if we saw him, would be greatly appreciated. Here's his picture from graduation at the university 10 years back. Tell you what, I will show this because I think it actually would be, kind of useful. So hold on. Let me get this up and move this over because I'm prepared. Not really. And let's move this up there. There it is. So if you've seen this guy, if you've seen this guy, you might know where he is. I guess, let me know and I'll try to respond back to this person. And that's it. Maybe we can help someone find who they're looking for. That would be neat. I'm all for that. Moving on. I mean, that certainly would suck losing the brother, but he looks like an old enough guy that it's time for him to move. I mean, he can probably be out on his own. If he wanted to talk to you, he probably would have talked to you. That or, something else. Hopefully nothing else worse happened, and honestly, if he wanted to get away, he's got to get away. Let's do 2 more. Alright, dealing with bad memories / regrets. I can't really move on from past regrets and memories. I've tried and it still hurts. I've wasted so much time, wasted my youth, my education, my home tutored, but didn't bother doing much. Obviously I regret it now. I acted so stupid in my teenage years, thought I'd started to move on. I'm back in college, UK version, trying to get my education back. But it hurts because this wasn't me. I was meant to do better than this. I was a good student, I was responsible and mature. I don't know what happened to me, nor why I made so many bad decisions. Why my life went down the toilet, I don't want to spend parts of my youth looking at porn, doing crappy courses that didn't go anywhere, acting like an idiot, or trolling the internet. What a waste. I hardly have any friends, so I haven't done anything in the last few years. Some of my life has been spent imagining how it could have been, wasting yet more time. I know it's not a healthy way of thinking. Is there a way I can move on? I try, but it hits me out of nowhere. I can't seem to accept it. Typing this out, I know how bitter it sounds. So... Alright, as you move through life, you'll find that the road behind you is going to be just absolutely littered with regrets and, wish I had, wish I could have. Really, that's all there is to it. There's no way to have both ways. Everybody that thinks that they're going to be able to do absolutely everything is out of their damn mind, because to do pretty much every choice you make, there's an opposite choice that you could have made, and it may have been better, or it might have been just as good. Who knows? But that's not really important. What matters is where you are now and where you're going. It doesn't help to look back at the past all the time. It helps a little bit to remind you of how not to go back there, but it's really more important to live in the now and the future, on the way, I guess. Speaking of which, I've got some Crystal Pepsi. Not a sponsor, but some people said it tasted like medicine. I thought that's weird. So, there's so many different branches and paths our lives can take, and it really doesn't matter which ones you do take, and which ones you don't, because at the end of the day, as long as you can look at yourself in the mirror and say, yeah, that was my decision, I did that, that's really all you need. Obviously, some decisions will end up putting you in a place where you really want to be, some will end up putting you in a place where you don't really want to be. Whatever, I could point out so many people in my life who have made decisions that they regret. People that have gone to college or dropped out of college, gone to school or dropped out of school. People that have joined the military, got out of the military, stayed in. Everybody, there's a lot of people that are like, yeah, I wish I had stayed in or gotten out. Wish I had quit. Wish I had kept going. It doesn't matter, because they're all alive. They're all doing their thing. does the only ones that are sad are the ones that just sit there and wish that they had done something different. The ones that I know that continue to move forward are the ones that are just happy with what they have and keep pushing towards what they want. That's it. If you don't know what you want, that's probably the biggest source of your frustration and sadness, is not knowing what the hell you actually want. Because I don't really know what to tell you unless I know what the hell you want in the first place. And it sounds like this person doesn't know what they want, because all they want is to not have done the thing they had did. Yeah, that. So, best advice for that person is just move on. Keep going. If you're already back in school, then keep going to school. If you're sad about watching porn, stop watching porn. It's a no-brainer there. Okay. I want to leave my toxic family, but scared to leave the city. I come from a culture that is oppressive to women, and although I'm 23 years old, I still don't get the basic freedom that other women at my age get. For a long time, I let my family emotionally abuse me and manipulate me, but I think I finally have the strength to leave and find my own place. I live in London, one of the best cities in the world. I have a full-time job, great friends. I feel at home here, so it'd be really difficult for me to leave and have to start all over again. On the other hand, I could move to a cheaper city and have the freedom of knowing that I'll be less likely to run into my family members. I know my family, they will try to follow me and force me to come home. I was taken to and from school until I was 16. At the age of 13, my mother followed me as I was visiting a friend's house and forced me to get in a car with her just as I was knocking on my friend's door. I know I'm partially at fault for not standing my ground for so long. My mother has managed to guilt me into obeying her. I'm trying to weigh the pros and cons against each other, and I'm still undecided whether to stay or leave. Yeah, so it's up to you. Do what you want to do, right? So if you have a family that's... I mean, you're 23 years old. Honestly, if you're worried about what your family wants to do to you or with you or what the hell, you say oppressive to women. What culture in London is that oppressive to women? I don't know. I don't live there. I live in the U.S. and I still get people who... I still get all kinds of people who... say that, oh, we're oppressing everybody. I don't think so. Go to like one of those, other countries, third world countries where they really have no rights, and then tell me how oppressed you are. But that's aside. Yeah, people can't emotionally manipulate you if you don't care. So stop caring. That's the best advice, really. Just let it go. Move on. If you want something more for yourself, then you have to let go and move on. That's it. You can't sit here and, like I was saying before, you can't sit there and talk about how, oh, I'm so sad about how things have been in the past. I mean, this person, again, just bringing up stuff in the past, not kind of like an excuse. Just stop letting stuff like that happen. Move on. If you already know the answer, which sounds like this person does, then stop. You don't need other people. I mean, already like asking for help on this is kind of like, no, you don't need other people to tell you what to do. You need to just do what you want to do, which is get the hell out of there. Set yourself up with a job somewhere, move on, do what you got to do. Unless they're paying for everything, in which case it's kind of where that's going to have to be. And you will continue to be oppressed. I mean, you're going to be under... I mean, basically, if someone's paying you to allow you to live, you kind of got to follow their rules or they just stop paying for you. But if they're your family and they love you, they're going to not let anything bad happen to you. So, wait at how it is. I don't know your full situation, but I do know that typically families, parents especially, will not let their children suffer and die in a ditch. They will probably help out if you chose to leave and then things didn't work out. So that's what you're afraid about, then don't be. I'll join the military. That'd probably help you get out of there pretty quick. They would force it, and then they really wouldn't have a choice now, would they? But yeah, that's pretty much it for that one. And you know what? One last one. I don't. That's a real bummer. I don't want to end on that one. Okay. How to accept what you'll never have. This is the beginning of an emo one, and I'm not even reading it yet, but I'm guessing this person is a teenager. I'm 19. Counts. That freaking counts. Currently a community college student hoping to transfer next year. I'd like to study music industry and pursue a career in music journalism or as a music supervisor for films. I've always loved music. It's my favorite thing in the whole world. Music to me makes life worth living. While I love listening to music, I don't have much musical ability. I play the drums, but I know that I could never write music like my heroes. I can't write or sing, and it hurts me more than anything. I want to be an artist and not just work with other people's art. The thing I love most in the world, and I could never make it. How can I accept that I'll never be able to make music? I want to be able to appreciate music without being hurt by it at the same time. Okay. So, person's super emo-y, sounds like. So, here's what I'm going to tell you. Basically, let it go. So, look, if you're 19, you still probably have no idea what you really want to do, and your big dreams of wanting to be a music movie person, music supervisor for films, yeah, everybody would love to have a sweet job where they get to like be in the hottest new movies and do all this stuff. But if it's something you really want to do, then put your mind into it and go do it. Get your ass up and go do it. The people that do that stuff, it doesn't come to them like naturally. All these people, like, they have to work really hard at it. They took a lot of time. They spent all their time doing it. They suffered and they fucking persevered. Yeah, if you're saying that you just want to take the easy path and that's not good enough, you're right. The easy way is not the path that's going to get it done. You need to do like the harder things because that's how you get further. That's how you move up, is by doing the hardest job, not by doing the easiest path that you can possibly take. Like, yeah, you can definitely easily get a job at like a McDonald's or a Burger King or something. I mean, I would assume easily. I never tried to, but you probably can get one of those jobs and not really have any huge aspirations of moving up and being like the president of McDonald's. But I mean, maybe it could happen. I don't know for sure. I've never been. I don't really know how that corporate structure works, but I would say it's probably not going to happen. You need to like do the hard work if you really want to move up, and if you want to have like one of those sweet jobs and do something that's really going to be amazing and you're going to be really proud of, then you have to put work into it. You know, yeah, you may not be super creative, but there's probably something that you have to contribute to that industry. You just have to figure out what it is. I couldn't tell you what that thing you have is or what things that they'd be looking for. That's really up to you, but you could also carve out your own niche, because I'll tell you, in every single industry, in every occupation, there is something missing, and it just needs somebody to fill that gap. So if you are willing to work hard enough and willing to promote yourself, you can definitely get there. But like I said just then, you have to promote yourself, not like downplay yourself. So that's the key. Promote yourself, not make yourself like, poor me. No. If you're the one to be the best, if you think you're the best, if you think if you think that's where you need to be, where you should be, then put yourself there. Don't just talk about it. You gotta do it. All right, so that's basically it. If you have questions, I would love to help with your life advice. They're just stupid questions. It could be a question about a game, life advice. I don't really care. Whatever questions you've got. Be happy to answer them. But I'm going to do this on a weekly basis, and we're going to call it Dear Davil. That's going to be the slogan for this one. Let me see if I can. I don't know how I'm going to edit this in yet, but I'm assuming I'm going to put it up here. And it's going to be like Dear Davil. Wait, Dear Davil. There we go. That's what I'm doing. Kind of like The More You Know, but not a rainbow, I guess. I think it's copyrighted, probably. Anyway, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this new segment that I'm doing. And I will see you next time with whatever the next thing I do. Also, if you have advice for me on what I should do for future videos, yeah, please put in the comments and like, subscribe, these kinds of things also, because that helps me out very much. I'm getting close to 1,000 subscribers, and that makes me happy because then I get to move up a level. I guess I don't even know what you get from that, but I think it's like opal level or something. Maybe that's 10,000. I don't freaking know. Either way, 1,000 will make me pretty happy. So if I'm getting close. So hey, let's like, subscribe, and try to push me up there. But again, thanks for watching. See y'all next time.